Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Because it's time to write now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right.
All right, my friends, welcome to a Monday update stream. And let me tell you, we got a lot. We're going to be talking about quite a number of updates for you today. So definitely got a good deal of things to chat about. I hope you're excited. So make sure to stick around. Not only do we have a surprise announcement, but we'll finally be sharing the big reveal of our much anticipated spring event, the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest. I am so stoked, and maybe if we're lucky, I'll be joined by some other wonderful collaborators who are bringing some of these events to life. So I'm very, very excited. Make sure to stick around. We have quite a lot packed. It's great to see all you. Calvin, ML, Mass Toaster. Let's see. So excited. Courtney, glad to have everyone here in the chat. ML, you're like Miss Romance Writer. Courtney's going to go for the romance, the romance queen over here. Calvin for next month's pick, romance. Yeah, you know what? You never know. We're doing science fiction this month. For anybody who doesn't know, our Read Now book club, we're doing science fiction. We had a great chat with Adrian over the weekend about his book Mythic. Make sure to keep reading the book. It's linked down in the YouTube description if you want to join us for the Read Now book club. So very, very excited. And with that, we have a lot of announcements today. So let me get underway with, we're going to start off with our weekly announcements first. So we got a couple of our weekly updates. I was like, all right. So starting off with our first weekly update, let's pull up and let's cue the schedule for this week. All right, here we go. So I'm going to cue up the schedule for this week. We'll get this all set up. So for those of you guys who do not know or were not newsletter subscribers, this is the schedule for the week of April 14th. We're streaming a little later this week. We are streaming a little later. My schedule's a little bit more all over the place this week. So the most of the stream times are going to be on the later side around this time. It's like I say later, but it's really not that, or it's really not that much later compared to the 3 o'clock time slot. So we have a number more writing sprints this week. I want to try to get some more progress with Scarecrow, hopefully, fingers crossed. If we could be able to make some progress with our stories. So we'll see what we can do. Obviously, I know everyone's super excited. This Saturday, the next episode of the Story and Critique Show. If you want feedback on your story this Saturday, submit now. Linked down in the YouTube description down below. Fill out the form, and hopefully we'll get your story queued up for this Saturday's stream. And then Sunday, we're taking a break from the podcast. Now, originally, I was going to do a specialty stream for this Sunday. I was originally going to do a specialty stream for this Sunday because, I'll be returning back with the podcast next week. But I ended up erring on the side of let's get some writing done. I might do another open invite. I haven't decided yet. I need to see how I'm feeling by the time we hit this weekend. But I might do another open writing sprint invite for others to join, or maybe I'll just do something fun on Sunday. We'll see how Kaufman feels once he makes it to the end of the week. So that's our schedule for this week. Wanted to share it all with y'all. We need to get some writing done this week. Let me tell you, I need to get some writing done this week. Awesome. So with that being said, the schedule is out of the way. I'll cue that up on the back end again later for you guys to see. Make sure you're subscribed to the Art of Writing newsletter if you want the schedule on Sundays before the week starts. That way you know when we are streaming every day. Okay. And then into weekly update number, we got what? Five announcements today? Woof, man. Man, I can't believe we're here already. That's already spring. We're already over a third of the way through the year. Oof, man. Okay, so next update is for our channel membership. So for anybody who is not a channel member, let me throw this up once I have it. All right, here we go. So this is for our YouTube channel membership. So if you're not a YouTube channel member already, essentially what this is this is the way to support the community. There are currently two tiers. There's the $4.99 tier. I was like, oh, it won't let me. So there's the $4.99 tier. I was like, yeah, we don't need that. So the first one is a great way to highlight and support the community. You'll get the emojis, the icons. I'm actually super excited. I think we're about to have a couple members come up on our 6-month membership mark. They'll finally get the cool 6-month membership icon. I'm like, yeah, I'm stoked about that. I was like, I don't watch the YouTube streams in the YouTube app. I was like, okay, it's coming up soon. So very, very cool. And then with the $4.99 membership, you will also get access to our members only live streams and our monthly writing sprint accountability group. Now, I framed it as accountability group. It's going to be a hangout. We actually ended up needing to pause the membership this week so I could focus on some other things, but we'll be back next week with our members only live stream. So next week, I'll be back with the members only live stream, and that will be super cool. Now, if you sign up for the $9.99 tier, this gives you access to not only a free copy of the Freaky Friday anthology, if you don't already have a copy of it. This was our last fiction contest back in the fall. You'll get a free copy of that, the ebook version, and then you will also get access to the monthly critique group. So for our channel critique group members, our next critique group session, as voted on by the critique group members, is going to be this Thursday, April 17th. So our next critique group is going to be this Thursday, April 17th. If you want to join us for the critique group, all you have to do is sign up for that $10 tier before Thursday. Essentially, you bring a piece of your writing to the group. You read it, you read the excerpt, and you get feedback from a bunch of different writers. This is every single person who's shown up has shared that they've got an exponential value out of it. And let me tell you, for $10, the price that you're getting is pretty incredible, in all honesty, because usually this type of group would generally be charged at like 50, 100, hundreds with a lot of content creators out there. So let me tell you, you're definitely getting your money's worth. Highly, highly recommend. It's this Thursday, so make sure you're a member if you are not already. Awesome. Oof. Okay, so I wanted to get through those. Lillian, like, I know we want to grow this community, but I kind of like how cozy this is now. Yes, thank you, Calvin. The critique group is awesome. And you know what's interesting? Because I know I've heard that, Lillian, I know I've heard that comment before with the size of our writing group, right? Or with the size of our with the WriteNow community. And it's always interesting because I've heard that with some writers before. They're like, well, what happens when it grows bigger, right? What happens when more writers join us? Will it minimize that feeling of a small community? And I'm going to say no. And this is why. Because it's my belief that the more writers who share our values, right? If we get writers who don't share our values, they can't be in the community. It's straightforward as that. But other writers who share our values bring more expertise, they bring more experience, and we bring more skill levels. It creates a cyclical system where you can find more writing accountability partners. You can get more help and you get more feedback on your stories. Things like the critique show, we get more variety of stories. That's why growing the community is a win-win for all of us, because the more personalities, the more storytelling we bring in, the more that we ourselves grow as writers. So I wanted to make sure I brought that up because I know I've heard that before. It's completely understandable. Very, very understandable, my friends. Hey, what's up, 13? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Rachel, and that's a great point. If you're nervous, you can also have someone read for you. You are absolutely right. So If you're ever like need feedback on your story, we actually have a number of ways for you to get feedback. If you are new to the community, I need to actually list all this there. I'm currently updating the website so that way it'll be rebranded as Right Now. But we have a number of ways to get feedback with the community. Let's say you're working on your first book, or maybe you're working on your early books. You can submit it to the Story and Critique stream. That's every other Saturday. I read excerpts live on air, and then do live feedback, which is similar to an alpha reading. Or you can join our Right Now Discord, where you can actually go to the feedback channel and post up excerpts. We've had good success with members being able to share and be like, hey, I need help with this excerpt. Could you give feedback for mine as well? I think when we're willing to share with somebody else, it makes it easier for you to get feedback on your stuff. And then we also have the channel membership. We also have that channel membership, which that is the paid one. But like I said, for the price that you're getting is astronomical. So we currently have 3 major ways to be able to support you in getting feedback. 2 free, 1 paid. The paid is cheap. So, I mean, you would spend more money buying like a Starbucks, or like buying like half of a fast food meal in this day and age, and that would last you less time than the value you will get to improve your writing and grow as a writer. Okay, so with that being said, I guess there will always be a core group of members who are active in the community. Those who don't get it or have different values won't stick around. Absolutely. And I think our core members, like I know we've had, I know like some of our more regular writers will show up more consistently because they're getting more value out of it. And hopefully everyone sticks around for a while. Sometimes people's lives will change. Sometimes they stop writing. Sometimes they write more. But that's the beauty of life. So, what's up, Tiara? Welcome, welcome. Love seeing you here. But speaking of our core writers, yes, I love that, Courtney. You also get the Discord channels and can include your story there as well. I know. No, it's really helped me from that. Absolutely. Like I said, we have some really great writers who know how to deliver really good feedback in this community. And let's say you're not even used to giving feedback, not you, Courtney, but just in general. You can actually learn from other writers how to give better feedback. I've actually done a number of videos on giving feedback. There is giving feedback and editing feedback on the YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out after the stream. If you're like not sure, like, okay, how do I give good feedback? Whether somebody's asking for a beta read or for feedback on a specific excerpt. So I would highly recommend that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. Really appreciate that. So on that note, let's get into our first announcement. Our first major announcement. Ooh, who's ready? Because nobody's expecting this. So I am very, very excited. Let me make sure I have it pulled up on my stream. So a while back, something that I do to help grow the community, because as you guys know, I want Right Now to be that number one writing community to really help writers out there. It starts with me, but I'm not going to be able to do it alone. It's impossible for me to do it alone because there's so much work that goes into the back end of not just doing the daily live streams, but doing the community events, doing the holiday events, and there's more and more coming as we are growing. So every season, I like to put out a call and I like to put out an announcement for help with volunteers. And sometimes some writers will answer the call because they want to help grow the community, or they just want to be involved because they love what we're doing. Because you guys know what we're here to help each other write and get our books out. And you guys know from our core volunteers you've seen on the stream for a while, everybody's favorite chat soul, right? Number 1 gold star, and Soul will be joining us in a little bit. So number 1 gold star for all Right Now Writers Group meetings. Like, I don't know where I'd be without Chat Soul. And then of course, helping us having put together not just Freaky Friday, but the Right Now-a-thon as well, Miss Penelope Hartley. We're both incredible people and writers to be able to help out the community. So with that being said, I am so proud to announce that I am officially bringing on another core volunteer member into the fold to just help us be able to really make these events as awesome as possible. So without further ado, let me bring onto the stage. I'll see if I can do this at the same time. We'll see if we'll see if I can do this. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Miss Courtney to the stage. Courtney,
Hey, everybody.
welcome. Thank you for joining me. Now, for everyone who doesn't know, Courtney's been helping me out with the book club with a couple of our other co-hosts and bringing it to life. Well, I've been so impressed with what Courtney brought to the community. So I thought, why not? Time to make it official. Let's really elevate this role. And am proud to announce that Courtney is officially being brought on as the community book club director. I was like, make sure I add you there with me. The official community book club director. So Courtney, I'm like so happy. Oh, and of course I definitely plan to do this. So I am so happy to be able to bring you on officially in a fuller volunteer capacity to be able to help us with making the book club as awesome as possible. Courtney, you're even more of a reader than I am. I'm like, you great book club, like book anything was like right up your alley.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Thank you so much for seeing like the effort I put in, and like I appreciate it. I just like being a part of the group, of the WriteNow group, and I don't know. I feel like I belong now, so it's awesome.
Oh, and Courtney, tell me, because this is actually something that I'm really impressed with. How long have you been working on? How long have you been working on your first book, your book that you're planning on publishing?
I started I went to South Carolina and saw my grandpa's house after he died in July.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came home, got off the plane, and maybe a week later I started writing Fallen. So like end of July I started. And then I found you in August. And then I've just been gung-ho it ever since.
So you've really been focused on teaching yourself how to write, growing from a writing community for what, year and a half now? Year maybe?
Coming up on a year, yeah.
And I know something that was really interesting. You're like, I don't have that much writing expertise compared to a lot of writers in the community. And to me, I thought that was, regardless of writing skill set, you're valuable because of your enthusiasm and your passion for what we're trying to do here, right? Which is why like the goal is for us to be able to have all skill sets and all styles of writer, whether you're just starting out or whether you're like me and I've been writing my entire life, because all perspectives are valuable. So I just want to say, Courtney, I really appreciate you.
Thank you. And I hope to do the community good.
So Courtney is, as the official community book club director, Courtney is going to officially be taking over more and more of the Read Now book club, which we've been working together on. And so it's going to be super exciting. If you have ideas or things that you want to see in the book club, Courtney is your go-to. We will so I mean, I think the way that I've been framing it is the book club is our first official community event. So I think I'm starting to realize, because I've been going in more of an event direction. So we have the weekly live stream events. That's like the critique show and the podcast. We have our community events, which is like the book club. That's something we're doing on a month-by-month basis for the community. And then we have our holiday writing events, which was the contests, the Write Now-a-thon, and the things like that. So you get to help lead the charge on this new this whole new category of community events.
Yeah. I'm not excited for it. I hope more of the part of the community, if you guys have ideas for the book club, things that would make you include more, then by all means shoot me messages. I'm more than open to hear them. So
Courtney, I know we've talked about the book club a little bit, and I'll try not to put you on the spot at all. But like in a perfect world, what would you want to see out of the book club?
Um, I just want like each of us to grow. Like I know that when I'm stuck in Fallen or stuck in my motorcycle series or the
Mhm.
flash fictions, like I like to read things that are similar to get like just jumpstart my creativity of it, not to steal, but to like jumpstart my creativity of it. And
Mhm.
like I just hope to like include that in with writers. I know that like when I'm having writer's block, I'll just go read a book that I know I love that got me interested in the story that I'm writing.
Mhm.
And like I think that's really helpful to me. Or if like I'm on a book slum, I know to go read a favorite, don't start a new one so I don't, hate the book that could be great,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be soured by my mood.
Mhm.
I just like I want the Discord to like I want people to be putting their opinions more in it and less of like solitary reading. Because like we do want to talk about this. Like we want to talk about how we're liking it, or if we're not liking it, what we don't like, what's not about
Mhm.
us. Because like it's okay to not like a book. It's
Mhm.
okay to not like a community member's book, but they
Yeah,
want
that
to know.
that is all right. That's all. It's interesting. One of the biggest things we when we were designing the book club was like, okay, well, how involved do we want the authors to be throughout the process?
Yeah,
Because if I'm the author, or let's say like I'm just speaking for me personally, if I put Scarecrow into a book club, I would be like, all right, give all the feedback. If you give bad feedback, I don't care because for me that's improvement. But
yeah,
what we see sometimes from members is like, well, I'm afraid to share feedback because I don't want to hurt their feelings.
right. Yeah,
But
and for me, if I ever put Fallen in a book club, roast me, please. Tell me what's wrong with it. Tell me why you don't like it. Because I don't know what I don't know. And
Mhm.
if it's like you told me, Liam's stalkery crazy, I'm fixing that. Okay. But I didn't know he was coming across that way until someone was like, I kind of want to call the cops on your fictional
Mhm.
character right now. And I'm
That
like,
would
that's
probably be
fair.
a problem to have your love interest be come across as a stalker.
Yeah, you shouldn't want to call the cops on the love interest. Not yet, at least. Like, geez.
And I think what I'm also really loving about the book club and the direction that it's going in is that writing, when we think about writing traditionally, people think about writing as a solitary experience. People
Yeah.
think about you sit down, you write a book, you spend hours, months, years, however long it takes, and you do it by yourself. Joining writing communities breaks that open and actually shows you don't need to do it by yourself to be successful. It actually makes it easier being part of a community. And I
Yeah.
think the same can be said for books, for reading. I think a
Yeah.
lot of the times we read a book by ourselves, and then for people like you, Corey, like I know you read at such a higher volume than I do. Um, we end up going on to the next book. So then the question that I ask is, how can we read more in a way that's supporting our journey as writers with other people who share the same passion?
Right. Like, you can highlight it on your Kindle, but who you sharing that with? Well, share it in the Discord. We want to hear it. Whether it be in the read now section on the book that we're all reading or in the book club section where you're just like, look at this writing style. I loved it. I hated it. Whatever.
Exactly. And I think as we're growing the book club, we're figuring out like some of the logistics. We're like, okay, we're going to do this. If people like it, we'll do more. If they don't, we'll just check and adjust.
Yeah.
But so far, this month's been looking pretty good, and where we want to try as many different avenues with the book club. So, and I mean, at heart, it's for the community. It's for you
Right.
guys. So, yeah, really, really looking forward to it. I'm sure I haven't asked yet, but I'm sure you'll see Courtney around in some of our other events in the future if the stars should align. But
Yeah.
Courtney,
I'm excited for this next adventure that you're about to go on.
and I think it's so important to put out there that the reason that we're here right now, Courtney, together, you and me on this live stream, is because when I put out a call, a need for, I'm like, hey, we're looking for volunteers, you reached out.
Yeah.
And like it starts with that, right? It starts with reaching out, regardless of what it is that you want, right? Whether you're like, hey, I just want to be more involved, or oh, you know what, I want to build up my author brand and see more of the logistics. It's it's different for everybody.
Yeah, and I totally
Mhm.
reached out with an idea, and you were like, "It's already in the works," and I was like, "Cool, yay, excited, can't wait." And you were like, "But I have an idea that I think you'll like," and then you were like, "The book club, this is your like, I have you in mind," and I was
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, let's do it." Like, I'm excited. So like, I reached out for an idea, and you were like, "Yeah, already on it," and I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay," and I was gonna fade away, and you were like, "No, come back." So like, I mean, even if you reach out and it's already in the works or he's already planning on it, like he might have something else in mind for you, but knowing that
Mhm.
you reached out, that you wanted to join, like that's what matters.
Mhm. I'll probably be putting out another call for volunteers. I mean, I guess we're already in spring now, aren't we? I mean, probably not till I get closer to summer,
Mhm.
till I actually have time for future events. But yes, so definitely be on the lookout, my friends, when you want to be involved next. And like I always say, it's starting with me, but I really envision right now being a collaborative endeavor. See a world, because I think writing is more than just my own perspective and opinion. Granted, I know I'm entertained to watch an occasion when I'm like crying over writing about scarecrows and crows,
The
but
Aaron will pew pew pew.
ultimately, eventually, like there's a world and a channel where writing, the Right Now community, is represented by writers of all voices. So one of these years we'll get there. But Courtney, I'm so happy to have you join us once again. Then also, not only will Courtney be in charge of the book club, Courtney's also going to be an official moderator for the Right Now YouTube channel and the Discord. So along with Chat Soul, if you have any questions, you want to know more, also feel free to reach out to Courtney as well. She will also be a resource to be able to help you guys out. So,
Yeah.
Courtney, you're awesome. Thanks for joining me on this journey.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. I will let you get going because I know
Yeah.
we got a big one. We got a big one. So, but thank you so much, Courtney, and I'm sure we'll have you back on the stream soon.
All right. Bye guys. Thank you guys.
All right. Woo. All right. So I am stoked. I am so excited. So, what a good announcement. What a huge one. I've been so looking forward to that reveal because, right, the what we're doing with right now isn't possible without the support of other volunteers and other members. So I am very excited. Now, as we're pivoting into our next major announcement, I know what everybody's thinking. I know what you're looking forward to. But let me just ask, I just want to hear in the chat, who all is excited for the Fated Fantasy Fiction Contest? I'm dying to know who's looking forward to it. Why are you looking forward to it? Because let me queue up the stuff, and I would love to hear in the chat. All right. And I know I am so excited for all this. Woo! Welcome, Maddie. Great to have you in here. Hot Spring with JL. Welcome, my friend. I'm so scared. We're getting all the party here in the chat. So, all right, let me pull up the stuff. So, okay, actually, let me make sure I can do this correctly. So, of course, I can't introduce this by myself without the help of one of our other favorites in the community. Let me please welcome to the stage, everyone's favorite, Chat Soul.
Hey guys, super
How
excited to help out with this.
how you doing today?
Not bad. I'm actually working on something for Fated Fantasy that I think people are really gonna like. I'm not gonna give away exactly what it is, but it is related to a mascot.
Ooh,
And
I am
hopefully
so
I will have
excited.
something, at least half of something by next week.
Ooh, well, wait, you said a mascot for Fated Fantasy?
Oh
I
yeah.
wonder I wonder who that mascot could be. I mean, I tried to reach out. I tried my best to contact Jezebel, but like there was nothing. I couldn't get through the Aether. But granted, there was kind of a fear as well that I was just going to get sucked in and never come out again.
Yeah, I gotta say that the mascot that's coming up, so I don't think they're gonna have quite the same effect as Jezebel.
Ooh,
Gonna be a little
I
more
actually
eccentric.
eccentric is quite the word. So I'm so excited to be able to do the official announcement, the official reveal for Faded Fantasy. So, but before we get into the logistics of it, I first off want to do a call out to our other volunteers. So I've actually put together a large team of other writers who want to help bring this to life. Now, because of scheduling, Sol is the one who's announcing it with me, but we actually have other volunteers in the community and in the chat who are helping us out. So I want to do a very quick shout out for our other volunteer members. We're going to be helped out by Rachel D. Adams. Rach, looking forward to everything that you're bringing with us for the fiction contest. We're also going to be helped out by Lynn Alessa D. Winters. Lynn's going to be helping us out with some of the logistics, making sure that we actually have a really smooth fiction contest this time around. We are also going to be helped out and supported by Miss Natalie Locke. I know you guys have seen Natalie around the community. Natalie's going to be helping us out with putting all the logistics together and making sure we can have an awesome contest. In addition to, in the chat, the Hot Spring with JL, our very own JL is going to be helping us out and making sure that we're really keeping, with the romance, and all the things with the stars aligned. We're also going to be helped out by other fellow author tuber, Holly Davis. So I am very, very excited. We're going to have everybody supporting us in bringing this live fiction contest together. We have a big, big group to set this up because we want to deliver a really solid experience to just give you guys a great fiction contest, to be able to deliver on a really cool experience. So without further ado, I wanted to make sure to call out everybody who's helping us bring it to life. And I am sure in a perfect world, Kaufman will have the right ads to advertise everybody at some point. But I am so appreciative because I couldn't do this by myself. That is for sure. Kaufman could not do all this by himself. So with that being said, let's get into the logistics. So
while you're getting that set up, I'm going to answer They might cause a bit of chaos, like similar to Jezebel. Just let's avoid anything shiny. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, that is a very, very good point. Let's avoid anything shiny. So let's go over. I'll see if I'm able to bring up our host. I'm going to see if I can call our host from the Aether. But first, let's go over some guidelines. So what does the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest look like? Let's see, give me just a second. Okay, so what does the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest look like? I am pleased to announce we have some official guidelines for the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest. So this is a flash fiction adventure. This is going to be, I was like, make sure, I should probably full screen that, see if I can get that so you guys can actually see that. So this is going to be an adventure. I was like, maybe the player will, oh, maybe not. Nope. All right. JK. I was like, no, technical difficulties. It's not even Freaky Friday. Technical difficulties. Okay. I was like, I will leave this alone and see if it plays. I just want to get the cool video. Okay, so what I will do...
You might have the repeat off.
Yeah, I probably do have the repeat off. So I'm going to pull up this one. All right, so we're going to do this. This will be easier to see. So with the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest. So there are a couple things that we have focused on for the contest. This is a flash fiction adventure. Now, today we are just revealing a couple of the guidelines and highlights for the fiction contest. Unlike Freaky Friday, the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest, we're going to be grading your stories based on 4 areas of storytelling. We're going to be grading it based on story, genre, readability, and theme. Now, you might ask, what do each of those mean? What does story mean? What does genre mean? And what does readability or theme mean? Well, you're going to have to stick around to next Monday, because next Monday is when submissions will go live. We will be revealing the details the day that submissions open to keep it as fair and consistent an experience as possible. So you're going to want to make sure that you stick around for our opening submissions next Monday, April 21st. So that way you know the specific details, but you're going to be able to start thinking, if the areas of grading are around story, genre, readability, and theme, you might be able to start thinking about what type of story you want to tell. Now, in addition to this, now I'll come back to our prize, our chances, what you can win in just a second. So in addition to how it's going to be graded, we're going to be breaking up the genres, the stories, into 2 separate categories. So, like I said previously, this is a contest that's going to elevate the fantasy genre and the romance genre. You are going to have the option to submit a fantasy story or a romance story based on the guidelines. There are going to be prizes for each category, and we will see whoever is going to be crowned the winner. So it's going to be a really great experience. And this way, for romance writers, don't have to compete against fantasy writers and vice versa, at least for that portion of the prizes. However, we're actually going to be having a special awards given out during the live stream. You're like, what? The live stream ain't my ask? So the way this timeline works out, submissions will open up next Monday. The submission period will go throughout the month of May, and then the contest itself is going to occur in June. So the contest itself is going to occur in June, and we are going to see if we can double the stakes for it. We're going to have live readings. We're going to be having live awards. We're going to be crowning the winners in a special and new head-to-head face-off. And in a special face-off with our top fiction finalists to see who's going to win the very first Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest. So I'm very, very excited about that. I hope everybody's going to apply. And okay, I think I got our. I think I was able to summon our host. Took a little bit of bird calls apparently. So without further ado, let me do a quick intro of our host, the eccentric Mr. Crow. The eccentric Mr. Crow is going to be hosting for our Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest. And for those of you who don't know the world of the Last Scarecrow, let me tell you, he's very crazy. He is very crazy. He's either very dark or very neutral. It'll be interesting to see how he plays off against Jezebel, who's just very dark with this like some lightheartedness. Mr. Crow is very he's
eccentric.
And what perfect character to bring 2 forms of stories, 2 genres to life. So I'm very happy to have that. We'll probably be having Mr. Crow showing up in all his glory in a much more interactive format. So we'll be seeing what that looks like as we get closer to the live stream. I'm sure we'll be summoning Mr. Crow from the sky. From the lands of the last to help give us guidance, and hopefully we can have a really, really great Faded Fantasy contest. So on that note, I saw a great call out here. Calvin, I might have missed it. Is there a word count limit? There is. But you're going to have to wait till next Monday to find it out because we have to keep it fair. Because I know everyone's thinking of their stories, but our word count limit may or may not be different than what we did for Freaky Friday. So make sure you come and stick around till next Monday. We'll be sharing the submission guidelines and details on the day that the submission period opens. So that way we keep it fair for everyone. Everyone who is submitting will have exactly 1 month to work on and submit their story. But great question, Calvin. You definitely did not miss it. And then speaking of a chance to win, so we have a couple of things here to highlight. Awards. We're going to be doing live awards during the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest. We're going to be incorporating a voting system for you, the live community, that really elevates and highlights all of the authors who are involved. So you're going to get to be involved in voting, not just for your favorite stories, but for your favorite authors as well. So you're not going to want to miss out on the contest itself. We, just by applying and becoming a semifinalist, you will have the chance to be in the next anthology. I was like, I don't know, my screen's kind of small in this one. You'll have the chance and the opportunity to be in the next anthology put on together by the WriteNow community just by becoming a semifinalist. We're going to have different tiers of how far writers can get this time. So the writers who make it past the initial submission period will then get into the semifinalist category. The semifinalists will then have to get into a finalist category. And then the finalists are going to have to face off to see who is the winner during the Faded Fantasy live streams. And then in addition to that, you're going to be getting professional feedback from published authors, which, hey guys, anytime we can get feedback for free, right? It costs $0 to submit. It costs $0 to submit your story. And then our top winners are going to get a $20 Barnes & Noble gift card, because who doesn't want to help feel that reading addiction? Or maybe you'll just use it on our next Read Now book club. Who knows? So I'm very excited. I know that was like a mouthful, as I wanted to make sure I got through as many of the logistics as I could that we can share today. So what questions do you guys have in the community? I know I went over a lot, and don't feel like, hey, Kaufman, you said like 20 things and I might have missed some of it. We're going to be advertising all the logistics. We'll be putting out the timeline. We'll be putting out the submission details. We'll be putting out the rules and all of the things in shareable form, so that way you can share it with your communities, whether you're submitting for the contest, or maybe you're wanting everyone to show up for the live stream community or for the live stream events. We're going to be announcing days when the semifinalists are selected. We'll be announcing live stream event details sooner, so that way you can plan for which day of the contest you want to join us for. So very fun. If you have any questions, drop a question. We would love to hear from you. All right, so I've talked. What how are you feeling about all of this?
This is gonna be awesome. I am really looking forward to helping out with this, and I cannot wait to enter it myself.
Yes. And oh yeah, I guess that reminds me, right? So we are going to be separating the judges who are going to be judging the stories. Sol is responsible for helping with the logistics of bringing our Mr. Crow to life. So with that, I was like, Sol, you're going to be able to compete.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write my own story, and if I can actually get him to work with me, I'm hoping to have Crow animated by the time the contest starts. I'm just gonna warn everyone now, I've never done this. This is the first time I've tried animating, so it might look bad.
We'll see what happens with our eccentric Mr. Crow.
Hopefully he doesn't look like a kid's drawing.
Fingers crossed. But like, I know we've been talking about the Faded Fantasy Contest for a little while. And I know everyone's super excited about it. When we were started on the collaboration with our other volunteers, with Rachel, Lynn, JL, Holly, Natalie, yourself, and myself, 7 of us are putting it together. When we started collaborating, one of the big things that really stood out was we really wanted to emphasize and elevate each of the genres, fantasy and romance, while giving both of them a spotlight without making it feel like there wasn't a level of fairness competing against each other. So I know that was definitely something we talked through. With developing the overall contest, something that I know I cared about was creating a fair experience. So we've learned from the Freaky Friday, there were some things that were awesome. There were some things that could be improved upon. So we've taken those learnings and we're going to be delivering on an even better writing competition. Ooh, let's see. Nil, thanks for all the hard work putting together a fun writing experience. Absolutely, my friend. Really, really appreciate you. I just have so much fun putting everything together. And I think that's really what it is. That's really what it comes down to more than anything. I
can't do this without having fun.
And I'm going to change that banner style. There we go. I like that one slightly better. So, Courtney, add a crow to my story and a dragon. A crow dragon. Boom, boom, boom.
Why do I feel like that would be bribing some judges?
But just to be clear, neither of us are judging. So I'm going to be delivering some coaching and guidance throughout the month of May to help writers who are working on the story, because I myself am not responsible for any of the judging, because I want to be able to help writers with improving their craft of storytelling. So I was like, I should probably make that as a note. I'm not judging. Let's see. Courtney, totally want shareable so we can bring more people in for next Monday. Absolutely, my friend. We are working on it. So that way we can get the word out, get more people submitting. Like I said, you guys are going to have a full month. We're going to have a full month. So we'll be able to see just how many stories end up competing, how many people end up submitting to be involved in this contest. Nil, are entries anonymous? Can we submit more than one? Great question. So I think with where we've fallen at now, we are only allowing one entry per writer. We are only allowing one entry per writer. So you're going to have to decide whether or not fantasy or romance is your vibe. The reason being is because we don't, by doing two separate categories, we don't want to chance having one person winning two categories, because we want to elevate and highlight as many authors and writers as possible. So the goal of this, once again, is to create a fair experience and to create opportunity for as many writers in the community as we can. So you're gonna have to pick what genre. You're gonna have to pick which genre feels right. And if you're like, hey, Kaufman talked about romantasy. Now, if you feel like your story has elements of both fantasy and romance, we're actually going to have some special live stream features for you for our romantasy stories, but they will still be categorized under one of the main genres. Whether you think it would compete better against romance or compete better against the fantasy genre stories. So that's actually part of the decision. Part of the decision is figuring out which one do you think that your story is going to compete against better. So we will see. Oh, that's going to be fun. Whew. And Lillian asked a great question. Do people have to be members to enter the contest? Absolutely not. Anybody is eligible to enter the contest, Lillian. Anybody, whether they are a member, whether they're not a member, whether they've never heard of the WriteNow community and they just stumbled upon us one day, but we will be making sure to get everybody's contact and email so we do not have a repeat of our anonymous author from Freaky Friday. we got, I remember we had an anonymous submission for one of our the Freaky Friday submissions before we realized we needed the contact. But you know what? It was a great experience. So anybody and everybody is encouraged and invited to apply. Tell your friends, bring more writers to try to compete, because they're just going to be more fun. The more writers that are involved, the more fun it makes it, in all honesty. And then the more you challenge yourself to be like, okay, can I actually like hold up against these other writers in the community for the genre that I feel more passionate about? Yeah. So, who knows? It's going to be quite an experience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh man. Hey, what's up, Megan? We have definitely been going over quite a lot today. I would definitely highly recommend checking out the replay, because we've definitely had a lot of announcements for the day. So definitely welcome to the stream. Yep, JL. Basically, find which element is the strongest in your story, the romance or the fantasy. Completely agreed. Completely agreed. So this is going to be very, very cool. And once again, this will be flash fiction. So flash fiction stories are notoriously short. So this is going to be a challenge to you as writers. Maybe you've never written fantasy before and you want to try your hand at fantasy. Maybe you've never written romance and you want to try your hand at romance. Depending on how much you can write in a given week, you could probably write a couple stories throughout the month of May and then pick whatever story you wanted best. Soul, you could probably write like 10 stories in the month of May and then pick 10 like flash fictions if you really wanted to. You're like, well, I think I like number 10 the best.
No, in all honesty, I already know what I'm going to write, so I'm just going to focus on that.
Awesome. What do you mean practice flash? So this is your chance, Lillian. So you will have a month to submit your story. So if you're like, oh, I don't know which genre I want to write for, I don't know what story feels right, you're going to have time to write a flash fiction story, or you could work on more than one and pick one that you feel is going to give you the best chance to win. So you will have time. You will have exactly a month to practice and prepare. Great question. Ooh, Megan, strong contender. You're like, fantasy is my strongest. Well, good luck, my friend. I am definitely wishing everyone the best of luck. I know Mr. Crow's wishing that. Well, he might not be wishing everyone the best of luck. He might be wanting to peck your eyes out. So that's that's a debatable one. Or maybe he will tell you of the time that he found true love, or maybe he'll tell you of the time that he ate his true love. Who knows? Mr. Crow goes a little all over the place. So I guess we'll be hearing from the indubitable Mr. Crow in the weeks.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a blast.
Man, so I am so excited. I'm so stoked. I'm like looking forward to everything. Yeah, and I'm really wishing everyone the best of luck. We'll be revealing the official submission guidelines next Monday, so make sure to come back to the stream and we will be hyping up the details. Whew, man. So is there anything I forgot?
I don't believe so. I think everything else is just set for next week.
Like everything else is just a toy. Man. So everyone, make sure you guys come back next Monday for our submission details and our submission entry date. And may the best fantasy and the best romance writer win. All right, my friends, that is all that I got for you today. I'll be creating and opening up a Discord channel for the Faded Fantasy Fiction Contest for you guys to be able to talk with each other and hype it up. So I'll be setting up that Discord channel soon. Next Monday, we're actually going to have a big Discord update as well. So we will have a big Discord update next Monday. But I think I'll throw up the Faded Fantasy channel so that way you guys can start talking about it. So I'll get that set up, and then that's all I got for you today, my friends. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily writing sprint stream. That's right. Late streams today. So everyone saw for today, as I get here, I was like, I might have deleted my advertisement. I was like, let's see, I can pull it up. Where was it? So once again, the schedule for this week, I'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Mountain, which is 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and hopefully we're going to be getting some more writing in. I guess it's actually very well timed that I'm working and writing a Mr. Crow chapter, so very, very perfectly timed on that account. All right, my friends, thank you all for joining. It has been an absolutely great stream today. So do you have any parting words for our fellow writers?
Not really. Just good luck and have fun with this.
And if you guys all want to get some writing in, you're like, yo, it's Monday, I need to write. Go over to the Discord and start a writing sprint. The thing is, anybody can start a writing sprint over in a WriteNow Discord. And if you're not a WriteNow Discord member, link is down in the YouTube description down below. Go join Discord. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you're missing out on 470 plus consecutive writing streams we've had so far to be alerted to. So, and many more to come, my friends. It's like the end of this year will be what, 360? So it'll be 700 if I can hit a second year.
Yeah.
I wonder what the all-time record is for most consistent live streams. I wonder if there's
We're gonna have to look that up because I'm now very curious about that. But whatever it is, I'm pretty sure you're gonna beat it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it here on the WriteNow community. Well, I think we've already won. I feel like we've already set a record for most consistent writing themed live streams. I feel like that's a record. I don't think anybody else has done that. So I feel pretty good about that accomplishment. But live streams, we will see. So everyone, come join us on the Discord if you want to keep the conversation going, if you want to maybe get in a writing sprint. And that is all that I got for you today, my friends. It's been great. It's been awesome. And I will catch you on the next stream. Take care, my friends.